right. And I think we're live here with our finale of the Scrapyard Scrum game. Acemace versus WormTime. Should be a fun match. Looking forward to it. All right, so it looks like Acemace is starting with the third marker. Very classic decision here. And WormTime is starting with the indoor backdoor with some docking bay access. And of course, Acemace is doing the same. Acemace deploying a biker scout trooper and a speeder bike, as well as Royal Escort, which makes it harder for them to hit. So, yeah, disruptor pistols can make people lost immediately, but if he's on top of his bike, then it's needs a much higher destiny. So, very common in this format here. Bike, and it's a very quick start. Acemace is drawing, and he's very ready to just start draining quickly. Let's see what WormTime does here. WormTime deciding what he wants to deploy. Home one docking bay, very classic. Classic choice. So Acemace was expecting asteroids. That was another common deck, and he's deploying a Baragwin with Anger, Fear, Aggression. Let's see what we get. Free ride has a chance of stealing one of his vehicles. Speeder bike, AT&T, or Skiff. You saw that he has Twilight Advisor. How's the audio? Hey, no girl. Yeah, if someone can tell me the audio is working, be great. But looks like Acemace is getting Imperial Decree to help cancel some force drain bonuses. Makes perfect sense. And he's going to drain, and WormTime is going to lose this beautiful droid, which helps your speeders deploy less. So that would be my first guess as to what he's using. And using another grabber. Acemace deploying Hoth Echo Docking Bay. And he's doing that before WormTime does his bit. So WormTime probably, I would guess he probably has an Echo Docking Bay too. He could cover that. Let's see how WormTime handles that. No speeder bike. Interesting. Guess he's figuring he can just deploy one guy and he can speeder bike can to defend the other guy via React. All right, thanks VHD. Thanks for the feedback. So I'll be curious to see if we have indoor docking bay or kind of what WormTime strategy is. And he does decide to deny his opponent one force. Won't be able to drain there as much, but makes it harder on his opponent. And he's doubling up the Beregwins. I don't think there's a lot of spies in this format. Actually, I need to double check here. What spies do people have? I'm honestly curious here. What spies are available to the dark side in Scavenger? So literally, there's only one spy in Scavenger. Literally, it's this guy, the probe droid. So, harder to do. Amazing. Yep, probe droid. Yep, you're right. All right. Retrieving an intruder missile, losing intruder missile. Will Garden to defend against Grimtosh, very common in this format. Kind of necessary, I would agree. And a second speeder bike. So maybe he didn't want to pay the one last turn, or he knew his deck and he knew how many speeder bikes he had, and he didn't want to reveal his reserve deck, which if that's the case, I would understand for sure. So the Anger, Fear, Aggression is still in Acemace's deck. So question is how much does Acemace want to do? I mean, he's draining for 2, but if he gets sufficient items here, he can kind of retrieve them. So he probably can't rest on his laurels just from that. So okay, so WormTime did have that. And he replaced his third marker, denying him 1 force. It's still force drain +1, but he is denying his opponent some force, so that's interesting. I am a little surprised too, VHD, but other than the fact that you want to have grabbers easily and you want to save force, so not having to save 3 force can make a big difference. I'll say honestly. Although yes, altar and sense are not super common. You do see a few prophetess, a few altars with prophetess or whatever, but it's not super common. I think it's more just for grabbers easily doing their job. All right, reactor terminal. So the question is, what does Acemace want to deny? I would guesstimate it kind of goes with Well-Guard to some degree. If he has compact firepower, if he has those kind of weapons, I could also potentially see that. Yep, this goes well with compact firepower. It's an interrupt for biker scouts, so could use to double up potentially. Acemace is going to draw. And he's leaving 5 force. Interesting choice. If he has his own grabber, if he has hell to pay, he would need 3 force. If he has 2 other force, he wants to react twice. Interesting. I agree Tree grabbers make a difference. So now we see ASP. We see speeder number 1, and this speeder only cost 1 force. Not bothering with maneuvering flaps at all. The Scout Blaster cannot shoot a vehicle. The speeder bike cannon could, but this one cannot. And Realtier Freighter Captain, he can draw 1 Battle Destiny if unable to otherwise. Yeah, he doesn't do anything here other than he adds 2 power, adds a maneuver actually. Look at that, +1 maneuver. You very rarely see that. And he's going to battle, so he could react. And insertion planning. Target opponents. Target goes to use pile. Oh wow. So he made the biker scout with the cannon go to use pile. So all he has is 1 guy there. He's going to deploy a 2nd scout blaster from hand. So this guy will have 2, so he could forfeit 1 of those to consequential losses, not both of them. I've never seen that version of insertion planning used ever either. Right? I'm used to seeing scouts here. He has no scouts. It's amazing. Okay, he's going to shoot the droid. And he's going to add 1 Battle Destiny via blast points. And he's going to draw a 3 for Battle Destiny. Gonna, yeah, Acemace will draw 5. So WormTime is going to have to lose 2 things. Acemace just is going to have to forfeit some damage. Yeah. So the wording of inconsequential loss, even though there's no guy there, the vehicle may forfeit 1 of its weapons. So that was a legal move. And we saw he had a space slug. Yeah, he was definitely planning for asteroids. That's obvious. So not really a terrible result for Acemace. Lost 2 force, 2 cards. WormTime also lost 2 cards, and so now he zips away to safety. See what Acemace wants to do. So he's only draining for 1 instead of 3, like he did a previous turn. Lost pile is still higher for WormTime at the moment. Though it's 34 cards versus, yeah, Acemace is still winning on the net life force at the moment here. And going to deploy to Cloud City Port District. 4 stream +1, and another speeder bike. Yeah, I've seen this deck in play previously. It's usually a lot of spread and drain. True, he could track that insertion planning. You are correct. So he could do a mass deploy with the 6 Battle Destiny. That's true. WormTime can track through a 31 card deck across 3 turns. You are correct. Acemace drawing up to max. No reason to react yet. So planetary subjugation. Yeah, Acemace was teching against asteroids, obviously, so no need to keep that card. So WormTime is just going to move the snow speeder, move a 2nd snow speeder, And move his third sand speeder to get a better drain. And that's it. There'll be a drain of 3 versus a drain of 2 for the moment. It's a question of if Acemace can do enough damage to WormTime. WormTime still has 2 Baragwins, so let's see. Yes, yes, WormTime, you did put an AFA in. He didn't draw. He did not hit it yet. That is true. Alter Freighter Captain and a jungle. So I'm sensing a pattern here. Sorry, it's a drain of 4. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Drain of 4 versus drain of 2. So WormTime, assuming there's not going to be a battle. And Acemace, because of civil disorder, he has to deploy a card with ability or he will lose 2 force. Yeah, we saw an intruder missile is what we saw so far. That's the only thing we saw. Usually VHD, you want to have 7 destiny ones. So you usually want to do intruder missile, or you want to do bionic hand, or you want to do Ewok catapult. You know, you could potentially have like a landing claw, or have like an X-wing laser cannon. But yeah, you want the 7s, absolutely. Yeah, those are your 3 primary 7s. And yeah, you know what? Bionic might not be allowed. So you know what? Let's actually check what is allowed in Scavenger for Destiny 7. That is a fair. Ewok catapult I know works. I know that works for sure. Yeah, so there actually, yeah, there's only Ewok catapult and intruder missile. So I would guess that WormTime probably has 2 catapults and 2 intruder missiles. That would be my guess. So I would guess he has, as far as this goes, I think he'd have 1 of 2 of this, and he has at least 2 of this, and maybe 2 of this. We'll have to see. That'd be my guess. So he does deploy a Biker Scout Trooper. He will not have to worry about civil disorder pinging him yet. He would have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would have to have 7 cards of ability on hand. And yes, he retrieves, and that's a 7. And of course, we talked about tracking earlier. So maybe he's still tracking a 6, but at the very least, he knows that that 7 is 2 from the bottom at the moment. Destroying Blasted Droid. Yeah. And losing another Biker Scout Trooper. And bargaining table. Yeah, that's where the freighter captain comes into play. I don't necessarily know if there's a lot of fallen portals, but yes, that can help you. But you know, remember the very fact that we have Royal Escort helps, you know, it be better. So, you know, at the very least, you know, you have to at least kind of draw 4. Um, you know, so it makes it a little bit harder. But I mean, fallen portal could be useful if you can bait them. And here we go into Speeder Gank Part 2. And WormTime is going to battle. Heavy fire zone. Speeder bike cannon. A target for free. Now, the only issue is, of course, even if he hits, it doesn't say forfeit 0. So um, he forces them to forfeit it. So it may not be the deciding factor. We'll have to see. I think part of the biggest reason to have this is simply that it's forfeit fodder. So you can forfeit it for 3. So if he has a speeder bike cannon and if he's able to do something else. So speeder bike tactics against that. Lowest total of loses vehicle. He's not going to add on Battle Destiny. Interesting. I never see the non-add Battle Destiny version. So he is going to get rid of a vehicle immediately. There's another 5. So WormTime is going to have to lose 2 things. Oh, sorry. That was just a hit. So he's going to have to lose Beezer at the very least. Interesting, the WormTime is just battling. He's not waiting. Yeah, he's going to forfeit that, satisfy 3, so it's still going to be 2 battle damage. Yeah, the only thing that's not great about this is because if Acemace triggers the AFA, he can just battle and lose over here. Good for Acemace, but yeah. I think WormTime maybe should have waited to track that 7 first, but whatever. Free ride. So he has a Scout Blaster in hand. Time's really trying to steal his speeder bikes. Cancel 1 drain. And just be left with a drain of 1. Right. Speeder bike, Scout Blaster. Yeah, I think Acemace can just start a battle without worrying too much. He is going to go over to the indoor docking bay instead of the Port Town District. I think interesting choice. And going to deploy Colonel David John there, so he will draw 1 battle destiny because he's an exterior site here. I think missed. Interesting. So WormTime has at least 1 relative freighter captain, not clear what's in the rest of his hand. If he tracked a 7, he could get that. But he's doing Narshada wind chimes, which means he's in random mode again. So Okay, he's losing the Biker Scout Trooper from hand. Guess he's thinking the other cards he has are much more valuable. He's going for Mr. Lochnevander. Only danger, of course, is if he's inside the Sand Speeder, the Sand Speeder's hit, he has to lose both those folks. That does get a higher power differential, so he's going for it. Let's see how it goes. Right. I think that's going to be a hit. Yeah, I think that's going to be, yeah, because it's a +1. So be a free ride. He'll have to forfeit both of his weapons there. But probably a worthy choice in Acemace's mind. He's going to forfeit the Biker Scout Trooper. I'm not entirely understanding that. He just lost a Biker Scout Trooper from earlier. If Acemace triggers the Anger Fear Aggression, he is at risk of not being able to start a battle. Let's see. Of course, he has four cards in hand. Don't know what else he has. Let's see. And he does trigger Anger Fear Aggression, so there's the second relative freighter captain that we've seen him use. And he's going to have a net drain of 2 this turn. So the question is will he be able to start a battle with WormTime and avoid Anger Fear Aggression? He knows that WormTime had 2 locks, so may not react. So he's definitely teching against speeder bikes, trying to move as a react. But it looks like his existing Evander is right there. Acemace asking for a revert. Did WormTime losing its a trap from hand, so not worried about starting a battle. Acemace tracking a destiny. Okay, so Acemace did have another thing. He will be able to initiate a battle against WormTime here and avoid AFA. It's also going to hit. Yep. Oh, guess I'm wrong. Adds 1 to power maneuver. Okay, that 1 maneuver actually made a difference. Amazing. Okay. WormTime getting rid of 2 cards. 17 life force versus 25. So WormTime's about 8 cards behind. I think that's a good question. I think light side probably is just because there's more tricks, and because you have Baragwins and Baragwins are so strong. Of course, these people can tell me that I'm wrong here, But I think in Scavenger, it's probably the light side is stronger, but someone's smarter. Let me know. Just given how strong Baragwins are, I think it really skews the dark side, and that's what I think. The fact that there's not really great spies for the dark side and things like that. But that's a good question. I'll ask these experts after the game, and we'll see. So WormTime loses his guys instantly. I have to admit things aren't going well for WormTime this game. I think he really needed to track a 7 and really break through a speeder bike and a biker scout and his guys. All right, and WormTime concedes. So congrats to Acemace for the win. When do you want to play number 2? So this game only lasted 38 minutes. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. We have a game tomorrow or Friday, but not Thursday. So maybe we'll have a game tomorrow. All right. Thank you all for turning this stream. Again, congrats to Acemace. Take care, everyone.